Making jewelry and accessories for my dolls is one of my absolute favorite pastimes. I've been a crafty person ever since I was a kid. I used to make all kinds of things for my dolls as a kid, and that's continued as an adult collector. 6 years ago, I made a video showing all of my jewelry making supplies, but of course in that time I have used supplies and gotten new things, so I thought I'd update the video. Part of why I want to share this is because you can find some really cool crafting and jewelry supplies just from recycled materials, necklaces that maybe you had as a kid, or things that you thrift, even random beads that you get in lots of secondhand dolls. I think that sometimes the salvaged items inspire me the most. But of course, I do have plenty of things I've bought at the store. Walmart is my favorite place to buy brand new jewelry making supplies. I do want to say I have amassed this stuff over a decade now. I started making things in 2012 because I was really tired of buying used dolls that had missing earrings. The empty ear holes really bothered me, and I just simply didn't have enough factory jewelry to put in all of my used Barbies or Bratz dolls, etc. And I ended up finding a real passion for making things. I remember watching one YouTube video in all of these years on just the basics of how you open the jump rings and how you make the eye pins and all of that. And from there, I just tried to come up with the most imaginative techniques I could with the limited supplies I had at the time. So you don't need a lot of supplies to make cool things. You just, I guess, need to get creative. I know my jewelry making style is really gaudy. I fully accept that. For me, it's the bigger the better, the gaudier the better. Even when I used to wear earrings and stuff in high school, I tended to gravitate towards really unique, eye-catching pieces, and that's reflected in my dolls. But that's the cool thing about making things for your dolls. It's a way to personalize them and infuse a bit of yourself into your collection. So if you are thinking of making stuff for your dolls and you think the stuff I make is ugly but you want to make more tame and tasteful pieces, you absolutely can. I'm also going to include a sample of different pictures of projects I've made over the years as I talk about certain supplies, so you can get an idea of the sorts of things you can make or that I've made. And if you want to see more, a bigger catalog of things I've made, feel free to check out my albums on Flickr. I have one for earrings, one for stands I've made, and one on just miscellaneous headbands and other odd projects that I've done here and there. If you want to look at that, you can, and you don't need a Flickr to view those albums. Without further ado, I'm going to show you my supplies. So I believe when I filmed my original video back in 2016, I only had 4 of these containers and this big guy, but you can see that I've expanded to include 2 more tackle boxes and then this smaller one that holds larger charms that would clutter up this space. I got all of these at Walmart. They used to be $7, but with inflation they're now I think $12, which is ridiculous. And I have a bunch of these actually for Barbie accessories too. And then I've had this for 10 years, and I believe I got this at Walmart. I don't even remember how much it cost or if they still make this kind of container. I believe that they do. So in this big tub, this is actually where I used to fit all of my jewelry making stuff back in the day. And then I bought a second one of these, which I filled with the different bags of beads, but I realized that it would just be easier and I could see what I had better if I moved everything into those plastic organizers. This is how it looks, when I store it. When I started out buying jewelry making supplies, I wasn't really sure what I could get away with using on dolls, and wasn't sure how much I'd love doing it, so I mostly stuck to buying these tubes of seed beads. And I haven't bought one of these tubes in a long time, probably quite a few years. Some of them are tube shaped, but most of them are regular seed beads in different colors. It looks like I haven't used them because there's just so many in each container, and when you're making earrings for dolls, even if you make several full head pins of the same color bead and you do that for $10, it's not even going to make a dent in one of these containers. And then I have a few random beads that I think I got these from taking apart jewelry. And then the Tic Tac containers are great because they hold the beads and you can open them up from the little flip top just like the containers they come in. My aunt actually gave me that idea and gave me all of these Tic Tac containers because I don't buy Tic Tacs. They even have this little like water testing vial that holds some beads. Like I said, most of these are from Walmart.
Here's some examples of basic jewelry I made with the seed beads and the tube beads. 80s Barbies, there's different Bratz dolls here, and something I did was I played around with putting the little beads on jump rings and trying different shapes, bending the head pins and zigzags. This corkscrew design I did for my gymnastics Yasmin. I made triangles. This was literally just head pins I bent and twisted and used simple beads. I used different ways of combining the jump rings and the seed beads.
These are the other little tackle box things I keep in this container because they're smaller and I don't want them to jostle open. This guy I bought at Walmart in like 2015, and it has a lot of gold and silver, but this was actually, these 4 compartments in the middle were empty when I bought it. They fooled you, making you think the whole thing was full. So I actually was able to pour some of my other beads that were in containers like that in here that matched the vibe. These are great staples. I love how these tubes are twisted looking. And these 3 containers, these are recycled. It's almost 2 years ago now, for my sister's birthday, I got her some of that like miniature doll food off of Amazon. It's resin doll food, and the seller that we got the food from sold the stuff in these reusable totes, but we keep all of that doll food with our regular Barbie food. It's easier to access for photos and videos, but I thought that these would be great for storing jewelry supplies because they have latching sides and they're thin and small and clear, so I can see what's in them. So these are all my fake pearls. There's a ton of different sizes. Some of these I took from like costume jewelry, some of them I bought in those like dollar bags at Walmart, and some of them are from like childhood necklaces I took apart, but the really tiny ones in there are actually from the dollar store. They have
I've used pearls in combination with a lot of different beads over the years, but these are some of my earlier, more simplistic designs. They make really classy earrings, and these pearls I actually pulled out of a vintage Barbie case one by one and made this necklace for Jalen.
Stars, and these clay flowers are my most recent acquisitions. I got them at Michael's with a gift card, and I don't really buy stuff from Michael's because it's so expensive, and I like Walmart selection better generally speaking, but these were in the kids art section and they were in like $5 bags, and because there's so many of the same, rather than like take up space in those organizers and have them like separated by color, I thought that I would just keep them all mixed together. And these are little container lids. This is what you like pour your beads onto, so you can fold it and then pour it back into the container it came from. My aunt taught me this trick, so when I'm making jewelry I can like pour the beads out onto these lids. These are my jewelry supplies. I bought this set of 3 at Walmart back in 2012 for your wire cutters, your pliers, your needle nose pliers, and this is a crimping tool. I actually don't really use this for jewelry. I use it for when I restring American Girls, but I keep it with my jewelry supplies. And these are all chains that I keep baggied so they don't tangle with each other. The colorful ones are from Walmart. I bought those 10 years ago. They were in dollar bags, but then a lot of the gold ones here are all just from recycled jewelry. Anytime I find like broken jewelry or costume jewelry that belonged to my grandmother or myself or my mom, or if I buy stuff secondhand and there's like kids jewelry in the bin of doll stuff, or sometimes I even just buy cheap jewelry at the Salvation Army to take apart. So that's where all those chains come from.
I use this chain in combination with many other beads, but I thought I'd just show an example of chain by itself, used in different ways to create simple earrings. And this is one of the first necklaces I made that's supposed to be layered out of just plain black chain, but you'll see more chain later.
These pom-poms are one of the few things I bought at Michael's, and they have the little tubes so you can string beads through them. At Walmart they used to have $2 packs of beads that had like maybe 2 to 4 pom-poms each, and I was obsessed with them. I love gaudy doll jewelry, as I mentioned in the intro. Decided when I realized you could get just a whole thing of these that I would get them, and I don't remember how much they were. And this is just an Amazon bag that doll hair elastics came in.
Here's just a few examples of my love of pom-poms. For smaller dolls, I can't use as many beads with them because they're pretty close to the size of the heads, but of course you can see I still use them. But the American Girls like Courtney, you can use more than one pom-pom.
This is an old wooden necklace. My sister and I each had one like this when we were kids, and when I was cleaning out the basement in 2013, I found these spilled all over the basement floor, and I sat on my hands and knees and collected each and every one. These are letter beads that I got at the dollar store. I have a few other kind of letter beads that I've gotten in different kids' art kits, but these are the best ones. I like the color scheme. It's very pastel, the size of them. All of my American girls that are contemporary, whether they're Girl of Today or Girl of the Year, have a name bracelet. Also, Courtney and Julie and Ivy have them too. This was from a necklace. My grandmother, when she was in like a nursing home, when she was really sick, her roommate gave my sister this big gaudy necklace that looks like it had bones on it almost. Elastic I got at the Dollar Tree, and I use this for making those name bracelets. And then this is just clear cord that I use for stringing different things, like if I make little hair ties for my dolls. And in this clear tub, this has deeper compartments, and I have a lot of these really large beads that are mostly good just for American girls that I put in here, and like a lot of this stuff is recycled. So these pumpkin charms were from a bracelet my grandmother gave me when I was a teenager. She used to bring me these bracelets all the time that had these little charms on them. I don't know where she was getting them, but she would see me stack them on my wrists, and she knew I liked them, so every time I'd go to visit her, she'd have more for me. And I don't know what happened to the rest of them. I'm really bummed out because they were special because my grandmother gave them to me, and I think it's nice to have my dolls can wear the stuff. But like some of these things, like this princess charm was in a bin I got at the flea market. Same as for like friend thing. These are polymer clay beads that I actually made myself. They're coated in UV resin. I use these for Moxie Girls, but I made a bunch of them and picked the best ones for those earrings. These came from a Lisa Frank bead kit that Colleen and I had when we were kids, and I found remnants of them when I was cleaning the basement out. Stores often have like a lot of crafting supplies, so some of these charms I found at a local thrift store, and I thought they'd be good for like McKenna, because some of them seem very sporty. I just haven't gotten around to making her anything with them. They were still like on their packs and everything. These came from air fresheners that my friend Lisa gave me, and I have used these as American Girl earrings. And I've always had this charm. I don't know where it came from, but it used to be in my jewelry box as a little kid. These came from a necklace that was my sister's. They're pretty big lambs, but I work with sheep, so I thought maybe I could make one of my American Girls a lamb necklace someday. You get the idea. It's all like mostly recycled things or really big beads that won't fit in the other containers.
Some of these things I used to keep in that container, like this charm that I put on Elsa, this charm that was my grandmother's that I gave to a Moxie Girls. These were a pair of earrings my sister was given that I used for Caroline. These are from that air freshener my friend gave me. They're huge and tacky, I know. The black, huge ones on Julie were also from a necklace. These are the Lisa Frank beads that we had as kids that I used for this outfit. And these are the pumpkin beads from the bracelet my grandmother gave me.
And this is my favorite thing to look at. It's just so colorful and pretty. I'll start with the kind of boring looking one. This is my findings container. I save my sizable cuttings from head and eye pins, so because you can use the cuttings to make your own eye pins, and then they can be like chain links for a necklace or parts of earrings. So, you know, just head pins, eye pins. These are like human earring pieces. Then I have jump rings that I save from jewelry I take apart, the closures for necklaces, and I also have little crimping beads in there. These a friend gave me to make a ribbon necklace out of. And these are all the different colored jump rings I have. All of these are fancy chains that are from deconstructed necklaces, like that was my grandmother's. This is a bracelet I bought at Walmart. It was like a little string of pearls. This is from a deconstructed necklace. Same with this. And sometimes you can take the individual chain links and use them just as charms. I like to do that.
Sometimes I like to use just jump rings by themselves because they can create some really pretty earrings. These are chain links from one of the chains I showed, and all three of these I believe came from the same necklace I deconstructed, and they were links. Another way you can use jump rings is to tie fringe off of the ends for tassel earrings, which I've done here on Courtney, and this was ribbon I used on Western Fun Barbie. You just have to use some glue to secure it.
Most of these things are actually pretty new because this year I bought quite a few new supplies. So all of these flowers are little clay flowers that I bought at Michael's in the kids section with my gift card I mentioned before. I'm really excited to use these. I especially like how it had like this peach and yellow color because those aren't colors you get as often when you buy beads, and like these would be great with peaches and cream Barbie. Then all of these chunky flower ones I got from a $5 assorted tub of beads at Walmart. If you look in like the kids art section, they'll have like these big tubs of beads, and sometimes they're good ones. Like a lot of them will have pony beads and crappy ones, but I got these in like June and I've already used a bunch of them. Same with these. Those came from one of those kits. These are assorted ones from different places. Like this one came from a $2 pack at Walmart, but I used up all of the other ones like it. There's all these different sized balls that are from those big tubs. These little clay doodads came from a string at Walmart. Again, I thought that their thin size and their bright colors would be great accents. And then the wooden flowers here, I've had them since like 2012. I bought them in the 98-cent section at Walmart, and I have used so many of these. So there's also a few random flowers left over from other bead packs. I'm not sure what these hoop things are. They were in one of those tubs of kids beads, but I thought they'd be great to hang off a jump ring and make really big gaudy hoops. And you can see there's other types of beads in there. These I got at Michael's with like sequins, different shaped sequins for resin crafting, but they're really hard, and with doll like hoop earrings and stuff, these would be too thick. They'd probably poke out of the resin, and they have holes pre-punched in them. So while I could use them with resin, I actually put them with beads because I think these would be super cool hanging off of like a chain. Be very like tropical Tarzan chain. Here, the teardrop shaped ones were from one of those big bead kits at Walmart, and same with these really cool ones. I got these neat candy cane looking ones in the dollar baggies. These assorted orange and yellow beads since like 2012. I got them in the 98-cent bag section. And then all of these cubes for the most part came from a really large jewelry kit that I bought at Walmart in 2015. I love these. These are really awesome. There's like different cubes. They're very geometric. And these I got in the 98-cent section at Walmart. They're really cool. Some of them are kind of big, but...
And these are a few examples of how I use the cubes on like Bratz dolls, for instance, and American Girls. And then these are the teardrop shaped ones, just an example of how I used them on Elizabeth in different ways. And these are those wooden flowers I'm obsessed with. I use them as earrings on certain dolls, and then in this next clip you'll see I used it as necklace charms for Julie. And these large flowers came from those huge $5 tubs at Walmart, and they work for Kanani. That's the great thing about making earrings for AGs.
This one is full of kind of, I would say, leftover, they're not seed beads, but they're like the size up, most of them. But they're big enough to be pulled out of here. And then I have a few like tube beads and stuff that I put. I've had a lot of this stuff for years. It used to be all bagged. This came from a deconstructed necklace. And it's nice to have really plain beads because, again, they're great accents. And even if you don't have a lot of art supplies, you can make some cool earrings like by just changing the shape of the head pins. These wooden ones I love. Oh, I bought these in a 98-cent baggie at Walmart in 2012. And I am so sad that I don't have any more red ones. I used my last red ones recently. I'm so sad. Yeah, these were from like the dollar section at Walmart. Same with these. I bought these recently to go with one of Kanani's outfits. And then the other green beads underneath brought from a different 98-cent baggie that I got in like 2013 probably. These ones were like my candy cane charms. There's far fewer than there used to be, but they used to be from a 98-cent baggie. Same with a lot of these wooden ones. I love wooden beads. I think they're really retro. They're great for like Julie's clothes.
And this is a selection of earrings I made from some of my favorite charms in this batch. The wooden beads and the quote-unquote candy cane ones I got in the dollar section.
It's kind of a miscellaneous hodgepodge. There's different shells. I bought a bunch of necklaces that had shells at, I think, Savers years ago, and I thought they'd be really cool for dolls. So I have different sized shells. These are from a kind of expensive pack I got at Walmart for Lainey. They brought up all the prices on the beads, and now you have to buy like a teeny tiny little thing that's like $5 or $6, but they had some really cool charms in there, and I had just gotten Lanny, and I hit that bag hard. I think that's like all I have left of it. These are some of the Walmart pom-poms I mentioned before. The only 2 survivors. These are just extras, little pieces from those like $2 packs that they used to sell at Walmart that they don't sell anymore. But these funny shaped ones, these were from like a candy heart necklace that I deconstructed that I found with my mom's stuff. These little ice chip looking ones are from a necklace I bought, I think at the Salvation Army. The rocks were from a 98-cent bag at Walmart. They're really cool. You can find some super unique pieces. These like circular ones, but I feel like they were from something I took apart. But the bigger ones were from those $2 packs at Walmart that I used to love so much that they don't sell anymore. All of these squishy beads are actually scented. They were from one of those air fresheners my friend Lisa used to get for her car. More of these really cool beads that I bought in 98-cent packs in different colors. I really like these shell-shaped ones. You can tell I have a bunch of them. Then these are random star things. The little tiny ones, oops, I bought these at a thrift store. They were like bracelets that were 25 cents each. The kids stuff is always so cheap. Most of these things came from like $2 packs at Walmart. These I got recently. I thought this dusty purple color was cool. Those were 98 cents at Walmart. These are some of my other letter beads that just came from various kids' art kits. All of these really awesome colorful hearts are from the $5 tubs at Walmart. A lot of the butterflies are also from Walmart in different kits. These pretty unique bug looking ones are from a necklace that was my grandmother's. I think these look great with Genie Magic Brats. I love these little hearts. I believe I got them in a bag at Walmart for 98 cents a long time ago. These very classy pearly hearts I took apart from some piece of jewelry, and the glittery hearts and other ones that are colorful were just from different Walmart packs. And then we're on to all of my actual charms. Walmart currently has these really great $5 like assorted packs of charms, and I've bought 2 of them because I used so many of my first. So that's where a lot of these ones that have sayings are from. These Santas were from a pair of earrings my sister got. I got this cake at Michael's on in the clearance section because it was missing some of the other charms from the set. I think it was like $1 or something. And then the rest of these are from various charm packs that I got at Walmart, like there's baking ones. Most of these nautical ones came from that deconstructed air freshener. I bought a ton of 98-cent charms at Walmart. They'd be in like little bags of maybe like 6 or 7, and usually the charm sets are like $4 to $5 each, and you only get one of every charm. And if you're making earrings, that can be inconvenient because then you have to spend like $10 to have pairs. But the leftovers, the ones that fell off that they bagged, they'd have them for just $1 each and with multiple charms in a bag, and I would keep my eye out every week and then make pairs. These are from a kid's art kit. They're little letter beads. And then all of these, like some of them are from deconstructed necklaces. Some of them are just random beads I found. Like they're little cogs that I found in my mom's music box for some reason, and I thought those would be cool.
These are some of the aforementioned expensive charms I bought for Lainey, the little fringe ones, couldn't leave them behind. These are those shell ones I have in many colors, and these are a sampling of different beads, charms I've gotten in those packs on OMGs and Brats. I use them on all kinds of things. These are the ice chip ones from a deconstructed necklace, for instance. These are little springs I found in my mom's music box, and these are those bug beads that I actually use as a headband for Caroline.
This is my crystal container. So a lot of these were from that really big kit that I got at Walmart in 2015 that had the cool like cubes, but they also have a lot of these sorts of colorful crystals. They're like cheap, but they come in other kids' art kits I bought, and I've kind of just merged them. They're really colorful and really pretty. And then the nicer ones, like the Swarovski crystals, I would get in cheap bags at Walmart when in the 98-cent section. You can get some really cool stuff there, just like these purple ones I bought recently. I love these purple ones. I've had them. They were some of my oldest things.
This is a very small sampling of the crystals I've used on like Barbies and Brats. You can see I orient them a different way depending on my mood, and this is some on McKenna.
And then the last one here is this really, I love, this is my favorite one to look at because it's so colorful. I got a big kids art kit. It came in like a pink tote, and it was for making like different name bracelets, and it came with a bunch of these solid color balls in different sizes, and I was constantly using them. And I noticed this year that I was running low on especially the smaller sizes, and they had just become such a staple. Those big $5 tubs, they had one of just these little balls. So yes, I spent an insane amount of time sorting them by color and size. I had to like empty out the whole tubs, and my sister.
I was gonna say I spilled a lot of them.
Yeah, the dining room floor was covered in beads.
We were crawling on our hands and knees.
A lot of these weird looking ones were from 98-cent bags at Walmart. A lot of these plain silver and gold were from deconstructed jewelry. I bought a bunch of these teal ones in different sizes at Walmart in the 98-cent bags. I got one of the big ones and one of the small ones. There's all different kinds of colors, and I think there's maybe like 2 beads left. Yes, this is one of them from that expensive pack I bought for Lainey. This is one of them. It's so pretty. It looks glass when you photograph it. It reflects the light, but I'm so sad that that pack is done. It was so pretty.
These rainbow beads are really handy because they come in different sizes, which gives you a lot of options for how to use them, and they work on a variety of different doll sizes. As you can see, they even work on American Girl, and on Sage I actually strung them on pieces of fringe, so that was a different way to use them.
I also make my own charms out of clay, so I have another one of these containers where I made rainbow cake charms. I kept some of the leftovers, like some of these are colors I mixed, and I got this big variety pack of colors for half off at Michael's back in 2014, and I used to have a box, but the box started falling apart.
And here are some of the polymer clay things I've made over the years for jewelry. Yes, they are insanely tacky. This is where you can really see my gaudy style, but I love making things out of polymer clay. Raya's cheeseburger earrings are hands down the tackiest thing I've ever made, but I love them. These are some Care Bears for Courtney, and the ones you're going to see on Sage, I actually mixed several different kinds of clay and used a mold.
And I thought I'd show this because I've gotten super into making resin jewelry for my dolls as of late. All of these like little molds are from a kid's, it was like a jelly resin kit that I got at Walmart at the beginning of 2021 for like $1 or $2, and I thought these tiny molds would be great for doll stuff. And then I just have like different clay tools for my polymer clay. This is regular resin that I don't really like using as much, and I've got different kinds of confetti. Like this huge tube I bought at Walmart. It's actually sand art that my sister made, but you can mix this with resin for pretty stuff. I have more molds. I bought these two at Michael's. This hoop one, I know it's huge, but this makes the coolest earrings. My Sculpey sealants, because if you try to use regular sealers with polymer clay, it goes sticky. I learned that the hard way. This is like my liquid Sculpey and Bacon Bond for making the pieces stick together or making like icing or liquidy looking things. And this is my UV resin, which UV resin is actually pretty toxic. It doesn't smell, so it's very deceiving, so you want to make sure you do it in a ventilated area. And then in these drawers, which I got this at a thrift store, Salvation Army, in like 2016 or 2017. And I used to keep doll hair stuff in it, but after doing some reorganizing, I didn't really need this anymore for that, and I thought it'd be great for my resin and polymer clay things. So this is all glitter that I've paper clipped together based on color families. So you can mix that in with resin. Then all of these pretty little pieces of like foil confetti. I got these at a thrift store for $4. They're great for mixing with resin. They reflect a lot of light. And these are from the pack I got at Michael's just the other day, where the leaves I showed you came from. These are awesome. They're like stars and butterflies. They're all little glittery confetti pieces that'll be perfect for mixing in with resin. And then I have some other things I've saved. These little flowers are actually from Crystalicious Brats. Then I have sequins. These are hole punch cutouts that I saved. Little stars that I bought really cheap at Walmart. And then my own paper confetti that I made and laminated to use with resin. And then the bottom, there's tubed glitter that I bought at Walmart. And then all of these come in their own containers, and they are actually little clay pieces that are sold for resin making. I bought these over the summer for $5. They were half off, and I thought it was a really good deal. Michael's is super expensive.
So far I've only used resin on American Girl because of the size of the molds, unless it's for hair accessories. I made necklaces. These are made from like my own confetti and sequins. This was confetti I got at Walmart. Maya's use sprinkles, actual sprinkles, because sugar doesn't like go bad in the same way. And these I actually made matching hair clips for stage with.
I hope you enjoyed this video and seeing all of my little bits and bobs that I've acquired over the years. Maybe this could give you some inspiration for places you can get jewelry making supplies or things you can make for your dolls. I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, love your dolls, love yourself, and love your life.